Today we're talking with John Wilson. He's a Harrison County native and resided in Bridgeport for the past 43 years. John is seeking his second term on Bridgeport City Council. He's also spent his entire career in the insurance industry. John, Bridgeport has seen significant success and growth. Do you believe that growth is being managed well? What would you do differently?
John, you're noting the city's significant growth and success is just testimonial to the best positive reason why our city council follows a comprehensive plan. It's a 5-year plan that we review annually. Councils at any level would not have success and growth that we've experienced if they didn't have such a plan. And it's the city's responsibility to supply services to residents and businesses that will actually create that success and growth. And my role on council is, and it remains, and it will remain always, to first listen and then to act to assure that the city's services are in place to support the growth in the businesses in our community.
John, what's your views on government transparency? Is Bridgeport government open enough to residents?
Council's meeting agenda and the various city committees, their meetings and agendas and actions are well publicized, and they are there for any persons, the media, residents, any persons that want to take the time and are interested in order to attend those meetings or to read those agenda items. We have, over the last 4 years, the city administration, city council, has made very excellent steps. They've made excellent steps towards reaching out to our business and our residents through print media, as you at the paper here experience, and also electronic media. And all of these efforts are successfully operate on the open principle of transparency, absolutely at all times.
John, are you pleased with the city's current direction? How would you improve upon it?
They previously noted, and we've noted success and growth at Bridgeport, depends on and puts a lot of strain, puts a lot of strain on city services. And I keep speaking back to city services because that is the primary charge of the city itself. If there, in my part of council, I believe that those city services are summed up in 2 words, and that is to improve balance. And by the way I mean that is improve is that in our parks and recreations, which gets an awful lot of publicity these days, and as you know with the sports programs, we have to balance also parks and recreation, the needs there. Could we need more fields for practice and games? Absolutely. But also another balance to public safety, which I'm extremely interested in, to the police and fire department and emergency management services. Do we need more personnel? Do we need to upgrade our service or equipment? And we only have to look at the past 24 hours and the terrible tragedy out in Oklahoma to know that the importance of a city's being prepared and neighborhoods being prepared to understand how those services can be strained. And fortunately, Bridgeport has not experienced such a tragedy. So I think to summon that in, our services to Bridgeport have to be improved and they have to be balanced across all city departments.
John, do you support the fire fee as it's currently implemented? What changes would you make?
I do, John. I do support the fire fee as it's implemented, as it was. The city fire fee is doing very well. Participation naturally within the city, and this past year we implemented one and filed for one, started one for out of city. That would be out of city limits, and it is pending. It is in litigation and it is pending. But services those services in our, what we call our first due area, and this is extremely important to understand, are not dictated by the city of Bridgeport. They are dictated and assigned by the State Fire Commission. When we first considered out-of-city fire fees, we had several public hearings, we had open meetings, we had the Fire Commission come to City Council, we had them lay out chapter and verse 1 through 10 of the exact processes that we were going through and the needs that we needed, that we were going to apply those fees to. And they go to only those fees that we collect for out of the city fire fees only go to the fire department. They cannot be spent on any other service and or any other department within the city. So yes, I think that I supported it then, and I will continue to support the city fire fees. It's a very, very important in our budgetary process. It's very important for our support of the fire department. And there is one other point to make, is that in today's time, there really isn't anything, again, of a such thing as a free lunch. The fee represents a very small portion of the cost of running our fire department. And it's very helpful in our budgetary process.
John, on June 11th, when residents go to vote, what makes you the right candidate for Bridgeport?
I think I'm the right candidate for Bridgeport and for this time for the city because I have a passion to give back to the community. This is a community that I've resided in for 43 years. We have brought up our family in this community. They've gone to the Bridgeport schools, and I'm very pleased that our children, our two boys, have decided to reside in Bridgeport and raise their family here. As a grandfather, very proud grandfather, I want to make sure that the city continues in its development and its quality of life that I have enjoyed, that my family enjoyed for the 43 years. I think that the tireless work of the city administration and the sweat equity of our community and our many community volunteers is another area I want to continue to support within the city. Cities, as we found in national government, state government, county government in some instances, and city government. City government cannot answer all for everybody. It takes the volunteers, it takes our citizens, it takes our businesses, as I said earlier, for success and growth. It takes a full team effort. I want to be a part of that team, and that's why I am hoping that the citizens of Bridgeport send me back again for another 4-year term on June the 11th.